Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Nomads Podcast. I'm your co host Prachi.
And I'm your co host Bhavya.
Science and philosophy have always been woven together. Some of history's greatest minds, Aristotle, Galileo, Aryabhata, and even Einstein, were as much philosophers as they were scientists. This has also been true for ancient Indian civilization, where science and philosophy were explored with extraordinary depth, not as separate pursuits, but as complementary paths to knowledge. These insights were preserved in Sanskrit, a language whose precision allowed complex ideas to be recorded with remarkable clarity. But centuries of invasions and nearly 1,000 years of foreign rule made this knowledge less accessible, and its nuance steadily eroded. Much of it was collapsed into the broad label of spirituality, a word that has itself lost the rigor and depth it once carried. The central dogma of these ancient Indian texts was an uncompromising commitment to curiosity and questioning. And so, our guest today, Dr. Ramakrishna Hosur, apart from being a renowned figure in science, has embarked on the journey of demystifying these texts with the same uncompromising commitment. He believes in building upon that curiosity and using it as an anchor for scientific progress. In his book, Where Science Meets Spirituality, he explores precisely this intersection. Dr. Hosur is a distinguished biophysicist, and his remarkable career spans pioneering developments in nuclear magnetic resonance or NMR spectroscopy, structure biology, and protein folding. His work earned him India's fourth largest civilian honor, the Padma Shri, in 2014. He has spent decades at the Tata Institute of Fundamental Research in Mumbai, where he also headed the National Facility for High Field NMR. And now he has been inspiring a whole new way of looking at knowledge by demystifying ancient Indian texts and showing how curiosity can bridge science and spirituality. So, if you're someone who finds inspiration at the crossroads of science, philosophy, and spirituality, or simply someone who's just curious, you're in for a treat. So, let's go.
Dr. Ramakrishna Hosur, welcome to the Nomads Podcast.
Thank you.
So, let me begin by quoting the introductory sutra from Brahma Sutra, which is Athato Brahma Jigyasa, which translates to let us now be curious about the universe, or Brahman as they call it in Sanskrit.
Yes.
And this is, by the way, also how I start most of my physics talks as well. So this introductory sutra is very close to me.
Yeah.
So this immediately sets the tone and attitude, from the get-go that these books or this philosophy will be talking about this. We will be curious about the universe. We will talk.
Yes.
We will chase knowledge and
Yes.
so on.
Yes.
Even in your book,
Yeah.
you introduce the first thing you introduce by saying that there is nothing as pure as knowledge.
Yes.
So, how then did the term blind faith get associated when literally this philosophy is against this word, blind faith?
See, faith, by definition, is blind.
Okay.
No matter which field you are in, whether it is science or philosophy or whatever, faith is always blind to begin with. And when you start investigating it, when you have a doubt, you start investigating it. And after that, it becomes truth or otherwise. So therefore, the blind faith is a concept which is already built inside faith itself. And faith is required in daily life. For everybody, faith is required.
Right.
So therefore, there is nothing quite too important about saying it is something is blind faith or anything like that. So whenever you want to investigate and find out what you have thought is correct or not, you just go and investigate it.
I see. So again, the question was that when the idea behind this philosophy, or the Indian philosophy as they call it, if the idea is to chase knowledge, and we set this tone, like you said, there's nothing as pure as knowledge, even from Brahma Sutra, which is a Tato Brahma Jigyasa.
Yeah.
So again, the question is, why was blind faith? I understand what you told us about blind faith, but why did it get associated with this philosophy? Like,
See, many people thought that they are not going after investigation, and there is people thought that what is said, you have to accept it just like that. So therefore the investigation is not permitted. Kind of this kind of a feeling people had.
okay,
However, in philosophy it is not so.
okay,
This is the misconception. In philosophy it is not so. Even it's when you say Athato Brahma Jijnasa,
right,
and that first sutra itself, that is the first sutra of Brahma Sutra. There are 564 sutras.
yes,
This is the first of that.
right,
On that itself, every word of that is debated extensively. It is not that you just accept it.
interesting,
Every word, atha, ataha, brahma, jijnasa.
right,
You have to add their kartavya after that. You have to do it.
I see,
So, therefore, atha meaning what? Now we are ready.
right, yeah.
Okay. Ataha meaning what? Therefore. Therefore what? Why? Therefore, the question ataha, on that itself, people have written pages and pages of commentaries
Interesting,
on this Athato Brahma Jijnasa. See, this Brahma Sutras, 22 acharyas have written bhashyas. And among these, 3, the latest ones are the most popular. One is by Shankaracharya, which is the 20th. 21st is by Ramanujacharya. 22nd is by Madhvacharya. Everybody writes commentaries on Brahma Sutras, and they have the interpretation. Brahma, what is the meaning of Brahma?
right,
Why Jijnasa?
right,
Is it required? Knowledge. What is Jijnasa? Is it just knowledge about him, or you want to try and understand him and do what afterwards?
right, right,
So therefore these are debated extensively.
Interesting.
Therefore it is not blind faith.
right,
So there is enormous amount of debate among the acharyas with systematic procedures. There are well set rules for this discussion. There is a book called Pramana Paddhati, which was written by Jayatirtha Muni, and he has set the rules as to how epistemology has to be taken. What are the rules? Okay,
Interesting.
every word, every letter. Sutra means what? Sutra is supposed to be alpa, very few letters, and there will be no confusion, and you should carry the meaning. There should be prayojana. All the things have to be there.
very reductionist,
Very
sort of.
reductionist. And therefore there is a depth in it.
Yes, yes, yes.
So there is a lot of depth in it. And so therefore those who do not want to investigate it, simply if you think that okay, you have to accept it, then they think it is blind faith. But that is not the case.
Absolutely.
So all these philosophies are debated extensively. Extensively.
Right, I see. So when we talk about Vedas or we
Yeah.
talk about Bhagavad Gita, we say that it's
Yeah.
the philosophy of life.
Yeah.
Then how is it different from spirituality? Like, is there a difference between philosophy and spirituality? And if they are the same thing, then why is philosophy associated with thinkers
Yes.
and spirituality has such a bad press?
Yeah. See, philosophy is a part of spirituality. Okay. Spirituality is much more encompassing.
Oh,
It
okay.
defines your lifestyle. So there is, when you say spirituality, there are two components to it. One is about the knowledge itself, which can be material knowledge or adhyatmic knowledge. Both can be there. And then what defines your lifestyle, what things you should follow, that becomes your philosophy of life. And material knowledge does not necessarily go into philosophy of life. Material knowledge is for your benefits, comforts and things like that, for day-to-day activities. And materials require. And investigations on that, on the materials, do your experiments or science or whatever you do. So all that is, and philosophy is generally associated in the conventional sense with Vedantas. So, however, but it is also much more broader in the sense. The philosophy of life also has this, what is the do's and don'ts,
Right.
okay, ethics, virtues, what are the things which you should follow in your life to have peace. Ultimately, you want to have a peaceful life. So, how to be peaceful in the various contexts, that's what defines the philosophy of life. This typically, conventionally, what people think philosophy is Vedanta, and which is a part of the Upanishads. They think that is a Vedanta. However, there is only one part of it. Okay,
Right.
Vedic philosophy, there are 6 of them.
Okay.
Okay, so there are Nyayikas are there, Vaisheshikas are there, Miyamasikas are there. Okay, and then out of one of those is Vedanta. In this Vedanta, for all of these again there are sutras. Okay,
Right.
there are Nyaya sutras are there, Vaisheshika sutras are there, Patanjali sutras are there. Okay, all there are 6 darshanas. These are called 6 darshanas. Out of that, Vedanta is one of those. And within Vedanta, there are typically 3 of these which are popular. Although there are others, these are the most popular ones. There is Advait, Vishishta Advait, and Dvait.
Right.
So
And we will talk about these.
so these ones are there. So therefore, Vedanta is part of philosophy of life. So life itself is much more encompassing.
I see. And as you said, spirituality encompasses.
Yes.
Interesting. That's an interesting take. So you also mentioned in the book. Do you have a question?
Yeah, go
You also mentioned in the book that science and spirituality are like 2 sides of the same coin, which is also you briefly mentioned that they're both encompassing, sort of dual to one another, and very complementary.
Yes.
And both so they both share this one objective is to chase the ultimate truth, Paramarth Satya. They're both chasing that. And they both describe different ways to do it.
Right.
So, what according to you is the fundamental difference between the two?
Okay. See, spirituality is also a science.
Okay.
What is science? Science comes from the word scientia, which is the Latin word. It means knowledge. Knowledge has no boundaries.
Right.
Knowledge has 2 components to it. One is a material knowledge, other one is adhyatmic knowledge. Material knowledge is what modern science deals with. Adhyatmic knowledge includes abstract entities like Atma, Paramatma, Dharma, Adharma, Moksha. All of these things are included in the adhyatmic knowledge.
Right.
And the basis of all of these things are the Vedic scriptures, the Vedas. Vedas define not only adhyatmic knowledge, also material knowledge. So Atharva Veda, there are 4 Vedas: Rig Veda, Yajur Veda, Samaveda, Atharva Veda. A lot of these are described in these Vedas also.
Right.
I mean, for example, there's various entities are defined, the distance between the planetary motions. Okay, both science and spirituality, as we understand, deal about truths about our universe and our existence.
Right.
They seek the truths about this.
Yeah.
So planetary motion, this is material science. Comes into the how the planets are moving and what is the origin of the universe, what is the origin of life. These are all materials. Your body is a material.
Right.
Okay. So therefore, how the material functions, that is material knowledge. But there is something which is beyond that, which is soul and atma. These are not materials. Okay. Soul, Paramatma, God, Dharma, Adharma, these are not materials. So these are atindriya vastu, these are not approachable by your senses. So these have to be understood only through the Vedic scriptures, like the Vedas and the Brahma Sutras. See, Vedas are anant, they are, unlimited.
Right.
And how do we know? We have not read all the Vedas. How do you know what is there in all the Vedas? That is where the Brahma Sutras become important. See, Brahma Sutras were composed by Maharshi Vedavyas. Maharshi Vedavyas is supposed to be the incarnation of God himself. Therefore, there is nothing he doesn't know. So, he knows all the Vedas. So, all the information in the Vedas are contained in the Brahma Sutras.
I see.
Therefore, whenever you want to interpret any part of the Vedas, it has to be consistent with Brahma Sutras. Often it happens that in Vedas, in different parts of the Veda, there are various Upanishads. There are apparent contradictions. There are apparent contradictions. I use the word apparent. Apparent contradictions. That is where leads to different kinds of philosophies, Vedantas.
I see.
And if you interpret them in a consistent manner, then you will achieve at the same conclusion. That's what is called as Gati Samanyat Om. Om Gati Samanyat Om. That is a sutra. That is Brahma Sutra. And Shastra Yonitvat Om. That is said, to understand Brahma, you have to use Shastras only.
I see.
Shastras only. And then how do you know you make a proper interpretation? That is why it's called Om Tattva Samanvayat Om. This is another sutra. This is the third sutra. Brahma Athato Brahma Jitnyasa is the first sutra.
Right.
Second one is Shastra Yonitvat Om. Third is Tattva Samanvayat Om. And somewhere later comes Om Gati Samanyat Om. Gati Samanyat Om means properly interpreted, it gives a single message. However, everybody is not able to do that.
Right.
That's where the difficulty lies. But nonetheless, our Sanatana Dharma is all inclusive. He makes, Sri Krishna Paramatma says in Bhagavad Gita, Ye yatha mam prapadyante tans tathaiva bhajamyaham mama vartmano vartante manushya partha sarvashaha.
Okay.
So, what it means is that the way people approach me, the way people think about me, I will present myself to them in that manner only.
Right.
So that they feel happy, and the education they get from their gurus, they feel satisfied, they are also happy. So all of these things are present at the same time. So therefore, see, not only these three Vedantas, there are also previous philosophies like Buddhism, Jainism, all of these are also there. These actually were debated, and Shankaracharya defeated all these Buddhas and all, Bauddha Dharma, all of that happened. But they are still there.
Right.
But this is by design. This is by the design of Paramatma. This is like sloka I quoted. Ye yatha mam prapadyante tans tathaiva bhajamyaham. Mama vartmano vartante manushya partha sarvasha. Everybody follows my diktat. Mama vartmano vartante manushya partha sarvasha. And why do I do that? Because there are different individuals of different intrinsic abilities. Therefore, I want to please all of them. So they will all be happy following what they think, following the tradition, following the path which their gurus have told them. They will be happy. That's okay. And I will reward them accordingly.
Now, pertaining to devil's advocacy, don't you think that, like, because in the book you mentioned that the goal is ultimately to reconcile spirituality and science, right?
Yeah.
Now, don't you think this will, the risk will be undermining empirical methods, and the focus will eventually shift towards metaphysical ideologies?
See, the empirical method, there is an epistemology. There is a process in getting the empirical results, right? So you have a hypothesis, you do experiments to test this hypothesis, and somebody else will also do it, verify it, and things like that. This is the process.
Right.
So science investigation is a process.
Right.
So in the same manner, spiritual investigations is also a process. There are also rules like Pratyaksha Praman, Anumana Praman, Agama Praman. These are typical rules, and these are systematically applied to any investigation, even material investigation also. These are applied there also. However, when you are not able to accomplish that, some of those which are accomplished by the Vedic scriptures, if you are not able to accomplish that in the modern science tools, you think, okay, it is not valid. And that is what has happened. See, if you take, for example, this Divya Drishti. People use Divya Drishti in Mahabharata or various places. They were able to see long past and the future. All of those things they were able to see. Long distance, forward, past and future, but even the long distance, which is not able, is not in your immediate vision, you are able to see them also.
Right.
That was not possible. That is not possible in science earlier and 200 years ago, but today is possible.
Yes.
You have developed the technology with the television. You are able to see everything. You have the satellites.
Right.
So the technology has developed to validate those ones. So it is not that those ones are wrong. You are not ready to observe those. There were several other examples. Like, for example, I'll say Astras. Astras were there in Mahabharata. So and these were Mantra Siddhi. And Mantra Siddhi comes from the blessings of Paramatma, God. And they were able to achieve these Astras. They could target a specific object with precision. And earlier we were not able to do it, but now we have guided missiles.
Right.
Guided missiles are able to target to the accuracy of even centimeters or meters.
Right.
So that is possible. However, what we still don't have is the Astras. Those people were able to retract. In case they did not want to make it effective, they were able to retract, but we are not able to do that still.
I see.
In science, is not able to. So that doesn't mean it is not valid.
Right.
You have to find ways.
I see.
Therefore, what was that? Empirical things will keep on evolving. As science keeps on evolving, methodologies keeps evolving, you find your own ways to validate those ones.
Right.
So it is like saying, okay, a blind man cannot see the world. Does it mean the world doesn't exist?
I see.
The
Yeah,
world
yeah, no.
exists. So the blind man cannot see it.
Right.
But so therefore, if you do a surgery on him and if he gets vision, then he will see it. So same thing applies here.
Yeah.
So if you develop your technology and science, you have to keep on developing it
Right.
to realize those factors. So don't rubbish those. You try to achieve those. That's why I said there are many more things which are not explored, which are not realized, which is described in the Vedas. They have not been realized yet. So if you take those ideas and start doing it, you can actually do groundbreaking research. The people like Oppenheimer, they actually got inspiration from the Bhagavad Gita. So in Bhagavad Gita says the Paramatma's strength is thousands of suns. Okay, and the atomic structure Paramanu is actually extremely small. The whole universe is in the Paramanu, in the Anu itself. That also is said in the Bhagavad Gita, in the Vedas. So your whole this thing is like an Anu. In Anu you have the electrons and protons and this like that are going around, and this is like the planetary motions. So sun and all the planets are going around. So in a kind of a miniature way, that idea is already there. That was already described. Kannada has described this in the Vedas. Rishi Kannada, they actually recognize all of these factors. In Rigveda also it states about the distance between Earth and the Moon, diameter of the Moon, distance between Earth and the Sun. Precisely. How did they get it?
Right.
In Ayurveda, people talked about personalized medicine. We are talking about that in allopathy now. We are not talking about personalized medicine.
Right.
They
Very
were already
subjective.
talking about it
Yeah.
thousands of years ago. So there are many things which are there. Science is evolving. It must evolve, and we should continue to do that. Draw inspiration from the Vedas and get it. Erwin Schrödinger also mentions about this Brahma. He mentions about Brahma. Then Max Planck also says this. Max Planck says, okay, look, at the top of the natural sciences there is a theist. When you go to the bottom of the glass, you start seeing God.
So this is interesting, but what makes me curious when you say this is that so you said that okay, we should draw inspiration from the Vedas, let's say, and you know, and apply it to the scientific method and try to chase things that have been spoken about and so on. So as is evident from the past that science was able to telecommunication was something you referred to. So where's the boundary then? I mean, then later science might figure out everything. So is there like a set boundary there that you're only allowed to discover up until this, and then the Vedas will be of no use?
You cannot set a boundary. So there is the information which is present in the Vedas, you try to extract it. There is nothing which is not there in the Vedas.
Okay.
So it is all there, only you will have to extract it. So and science will take continuous, but however science cannot reach consciousness. That part is not there.
I see.
The material world cannot reach consciousness. Consciousness is not material in nature. So there is God, Paramatma, these are things which have to be accepted, and all of these scientists have accepted it. See, the reason why all of them say that okay, the universe is created by God, physical laws were created by God, the whole order which you see in the universe is because of the physical laws. And these physical laws did not come into existence by nothing. They were created. There are possibly multiverses. Today we are saying multiverses in science. Our Vedas said it so long ago. In Bhagavad Gita it says, Bhagavad Puran says, Akhanda Koti Brahmanda Nayaka. Paramatma is described as Akhanda Koti Brahmanda Nayaka. And Nasidiya Sukta also says this in Rigveda. There are enormous number of Brahmans. Actually, Krishna Bhagavan demonstrates this in Mahabharata to one of the Brahmans. I don't know if you know the story.
No.
I will tell you the story. So in once when Krishna Bhagavan is playing with the Gopals, with his friends,
Okay.
And Brahma thinks that, okay, now why this fellow is wasting time praying with all these Gopals, and instead of doing his job of destroying all these demons and things like that. So he actually vanishes all of them,
Okay.
all the friends. So then Krishna realizes that, okay, he is God himself. He realizes that this is what he has done. Then what he does is he takes all those forms himself.
I see. Okay.
He expresses himself in all those forms, all those friends. So they are all back in place. So then Brahma sees this and says, "Arey, what is happening here?" Then he realizes that, okay, he is dealing with Paramatma, not anybody else. So I think he has made a mistake. So he comes and begs pardon. And that time Krishna shows, look here, there are so many Brahmas, all of them are looking at you. There are so many Brahmas. Why so many Brahmas? Each universe has one Brahma. So there are multiverses already, and they are all under my control. That is why it's called as Akhilanda Koti Brahmanda Nayak.
Okay.
Koti Brahmanda means crore. That means large number. Large number.
Right.
And even today I see many times it is coming, there is nothing as Big Bang, there is a black hole, and the universe is coming out of the black hole. One universe actually got inside the black hole and got dissolved, and another universe. So these theories are evolving. So this keeps on evolving. So therefore draw inspiration from there and try to develop a theory
Interesting.
which can be groundbreaking.
Right.
That's why I said it can invigorate science.
Right. So they should always be thought of as an inspiration to
Yeah.
you know, maybe there's something there that can
Exactly.
help us.
Don't rubbish it.
Yes.
Don't rubbish
Okay.
it. Simply because you cannot get experiments done on those, don't just rubbish them.
Right.
Okay? You keep developing. And human intellect, human abilities are limited anyway. So you can never reach the abilities of Paramatma.
Right.
Okay? All those things. Therefore, nobody can reach that. Nobody can reach that. All of us are limited in our abilities. So we keep in exploring. To whatever extent we can go, but that is unlimited. That is infinite.
Right. So I like how you said that, you know, one should take inspiration and
Yeah.
keep doing
Yeah.
following the scientific path.
Right.
At the same time,
Yeah.
we should also not be taking everything with blind faith, right?
No.
We should read into it and make sure
Yes.
we understand before we follow.
Yeah.
Should that also be part of a
Of course,
spiritual
it
journey?
is ideas. So as I said, blind faith is, to begin with, everything is blind faith. But you have an idea, you take an idea. So you don't accept it. See, all of the teachers, all the Shastras, gurus, they also don't say that whatever I say, don't think it is correct.
No, curiosity
First of all, think that it is wrong.
Yes, I see.
Okay?
Yeah, absolutely.
Even many of our gurus also say this, think that it is wrong.
Right.
Then you start exploring it.
Right.
You explore it, investigate it. Only when you are convinced, then it is, you accept it, you follow it.
Right.
Even Krishna Bhagavan says in Bhagavad Gita, so he tells Arjun that don't take it because I am telling you. You think about it, and then convince yourself. So then finally that is what happens. Of course, it will not, Krishna Bhagavan will not say anything wrong, but it is for you to explore.
Right.
It's for you to explore, use your intellect
And
abilities, explore.
So this is actually a great point because you know, whenever I have colleagues, friends who ask me about you know, these questions, and you know, and they ask me how is the Indian philosophy different from, you know, other philosophies and, you know, religions and so on. So this is actually one answer that I give. I tell them that if you want one lesson, the lesson is ask questions.
Absolutely.
Keep asking questions.
Yeah, absolutely.
Don't forget to ask why.
Yes.
And then use your abilities and intellect and spend time, work hard to understand. So this is the difference. There is nothing, I mean, especially in the Indian philosophy, Sanatana Dharma, the fact that one following this philosophy should challenge everything is promoted, is encouraged.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And this is something that that I usually tell my friends and colleagues. And this is something that I don't see anywhere else, and you know, and that's why it's worth
that's
understanding.
true. See, why so many philosophies existed? Why did they come into existence? These darshanas, the Purva Mimamsas, Nyayikas, Vaisheshikas, okay, Vedantins, And how did they come into existence? That's because everybody was able to ask questions
Right.
and debate.
Right.
And the debates are very fierce, let me tell you. So, and they are very fierce
I
debates.
can agree completely. Yeah.
Cutthroat. And see, the kind of a thing that, okay, if you lose the debate, you become my shishya.
Oh, okay.
It
so
goes
there's
to that level.
I see. Then
Goes
you
to that
forget
level.
your thing.
Forget, you become a But everybody, of course, doesn't have that kind of an ability.
Right.
Some say, okay, I'm sorry, I am not able to defend myself, but this is because of my poor knowledge. But there are others who have actually changed themselves, and they're convinced that this is the right thing, and therefore I follow you or come back to you. Therefore, debating, questioning is absolutely not discouraged.
So one thing again that I think about, and you can correct me if I'm wrong. I think, as you also mentioned repeatedly, and we'll talk about this again and again, Vedas are thought of as these original texts.
Yeah.
And then just like we do in modern science, right? There are textbooks, and then people write popular level versions of the books and to disseminate knowledge so that it becomes accessible to more and more people. I think a similar effect happened with Vedas.
Yeah.
And through this layers and layers and layers of translations and interpretations and so on, I think at the end the message was sort of either lost or just got very hidden in these nuances and details and so on.
Yeah.
Do you agree something like that happened?
Yeah,
or?
so various kinds of modulations have happened, and this is see, the Vedas were also called as Shrutis. Earlier Vedas were not written.
Yes.
So Vedas are there, they are called Nitya, they are always existing, and they were transmitted orally.
Yes.
The first time it was transmitted was by Paramatma himself. He transmitted this to Brahma.
Okay.
From Brahma it went to the Rishis, and the Rishis it came down systematically, and it was all given orally.
Right.
And they had very strict methods of oral passage.
Yes.
Okay, they have to say it front to back to front, and all of those things, and very strict rules in, and that's why they survived for long. And it continues even today. If you go to various gurukuls, actually many of them chant Vedas in that proper way. For example, I can demonstrate this to you. How this? There is one thing called Purusha Sukta. Purusha Sukta is part of the Rigveda. Then you have to say in a particular way. Sahasra Shirsha Purushaha Sahasra Aksha Sahasra Pat Sabhumim Vishwato Vritva Atyatishtad Dashangulam. If you have to say it this way, you cannot say Sahasra Shirsha Purusha Sahasra Aksha.
Right.
You cannot say that way.
It has to be rhythmic.
It had to be rhythmic. It has to go at that particular speed, because all of that has message.
I see.
All of that has message. The sounds have message. Basically, Vedas is a collection of sounds. So it comes in that manner, and many of these rishis, actually it flashes to them. And that's why then it goes as Sukta of that particular rishi. It's called Bhriguvalli. Bhriguvalli, we say, the Bhrigumuni, it flashed to him. Some things which flash to Vishwamitra, they call by Vishwamitra's name. So these actually this happens by the blessings of the Paramatma. Paramatma gives that blessings. He controls everybody's knowledge, and what he remembers, what he doesn't remember. Krishna Bhagavan says in Gita itself, Matta sarvamidam, everything originates from me. Sarvasya chaham hridasannivishto matta smritijna namapohanancha. Means everything comes from me, including your memory, the knowledge, and forgetfulness. Everything comes from me. So to all the rishis, he actually gave that knowledge. It flashed to him. And even the latest ones, we don't have to go that far. You take Srinivasa Ramanujan. You know Srinivasa Ramanujan, heard about him?
Yeah.
So he wrote lots of theorems. He never wrote proofs.
Yes, it's famous that he said
It's
it came
famous.
to me in my dreams.
Yes, it came to him in his dream. It is the goddess Namagiri actually told him.
Yeah,
So his role was simply to write them down. So, but they were correct. So they were proved later correct by some other mathematicians, some others. The Hardy, for example, was one of those who was very impressed by Srinivasa Ramanujan. He took him to Oxford, and so they collaborated and wrote several papers together. And Hardy once said in one of his books, he says, An Apology of a Mathematician, something like that, the book is. He says in that one that when I evaluate all mathematicians of today, I give myself 25 marks. I give Srinivas Ramanujan 100 marks.
Indians chasing for marks everywhere.
Yeah. So therefore, it actually flashes. So the Vedas also same thing. That's why they are called Shrutis. Shruti means Shrot, heard.
Right.
Heard. So that is the Sanskrit word.
Yeah.
So that is how it is. They all came like that. And later they were actually compiled and put down by Maharishi Vedavyas in the form of 4 Vedas, in the form of 4 Rig, Samaveda, Yajurveda. That classification he did. And
I see.
yeah, he did that classification.
I see.
And subsequently, they also have other further fragmentation like Aranyakas, Brahmanas, and Upanishads and Sanhitas. So like that also he did. So this is to help people understand and read the right things, whatever is required for them. On the basis of the contents, he actually classified them in that manner.
I see. So can you briefly describe what the structure is? So Vedas and then what? And then go all the way to Purans and so on.
Purans were written by him. Purans were, Vedas are the original texts, and to subsequently, Maharishi Vedavyas also wrote 18 Mahapurans.
Okay.
So I have listed those Purans also in the book.
In the text,
In the text I have listed them. These Purans are actually supposed to be supporting the Vedas. They are all supporting the Vedas. This contains various kinds of historical episodes, which actually happened various times at Kruta Yoga, Drita Yoga, Mahabharata, for example. So this is also Mahabharata is not a Puran, but this is a Itihas. Ramayana, Mahabharata, these are all Itihas.
What's the difference?
So Puran is what we constructed. Mahabharata is what that also Maharishi Vedavyas wrote. The Purans are various kinds of documentation of the happenings earlier. Other than this, there is called Brahmanda Puran, Garuda Puran, and these are taken from the Vedas. These are components of Vedas. And Itihas is actually the history which happened in Ramayana and Mahabharata. These are the Itihas. Okay. There is called Pancharatra. Pancharatra is also another grantha, which is also supposed to be the valid authentic scripture. So authentic scriptures are these 4 Vedas, Pancharatras, Mula Ramayana and Mahabharata, and Puranas are subservient to that. Okay. But all of these are authentic.
Right.
18 Mahapuranas are authentic.
So they are just classifications of different parts of the Vedas, or are they interpretations?
No, classifications.
I see.
These 4 Vedas, this Rigveda, Yajurveda, Samaveda, and in Yajurveda also there are 2. Krishna Yajurveda and another Yajurveda, Shukla Yajurveda, and Atharva Veda is there, and Ayurveda is part of Atharva Veda.
Right.
So all these are classifications. This is not interpretations.
I see.
So another feature of Indian philosophy is that it has survived centuries of colonialism and even earlier invasions, and while other knowledge systems have collapsed.
Right.
So what do you think makes Indian philosophy so resilient?
See, that is what I call Sanatana Dharma. Sanatana means what? Sanatana word means eternal.
I see.
Okay. And it will never vanish. See, you think Ramayana time there was no Dharma. There was no Sanatana Dharma. It was there. Mahabharata also it was there. But all other things which have come, these are like the Islamic or Christian, and all of these have come later. So these are all what we call as panthas. They are not dharma per se. They are not panthas. So Sanatana Dharma is inclusive.
Of everything, absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah.
Therefore, you call it as Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam.
Yes. Yeah.
Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam means what? The entire Prithvi, entire earth is a family. So you accept everybody and you allow them to follow what they want to follow.
Right.
Mama vartmano vartante manushya partha sarvashaha ye yatha mam prapadyante sans tathaiva bhajamyaham. So I will allow all of them to progress in that manner.
Right.
In that way only. They are free to do that.
In their own
style.
willing. Yeah.
So, and that is Sanatana Dharma.
Right.
Sanatana Dharma is all inclusive. Unity in diversity, so to say.
Yes, absolutely.
Right. And so now another question comes that, like you said, Sanatan means eternal,
Yeah.
and we discussed that the prime focus is on knowledge, and
Yeah.
because of that we have already you described that we already described how an atom works and
Yeah.
various different things. The question then can come is that why did not India lead in modern science? Why modern science was never was part of something that came out of Europe? Why did not India lead in modern science if we already had all of these things?
Yeah, see, if you know, before the British, all of those people came to India, or the Mughals came to India, Nalanda and Takshashila, these were the centers of excellence. They were the leaders. All the people from all over the world were coming here to learn. Okay, so but when those people came, they wanted to establish their, they looted us basically. All of these, the
Completely
Islamics,
agree.
and they completely looted us.
Yeah.
So the poverty set in, along with that various kinds of vices set in. And they also destroyed our knowledge. They destroyed the Nalanda University library. They burnt it. For several months they burnt it. So, and then of course that knowledge base was gone. And they also killed all those people who were knowledgeable in that at that time. They destroyed all the temples, all the Gurukul system, and the British did all that damage. They invalidated the Gurukul system.
Yeah.
The Gurukul system was actually giving a very deep knowledge as required for the professions the persons were performing.
Holistic, very
Holistic,
subjective.
yes,
Yeah.
and all that
focused
knowledge.
on individuals.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. On depending upon the profession, depending upon the individual, they will train them in the right manner. They abandoned all of those ones. So therefore, they think so with the time actually that got lost. But initially, if you look at all those Vedic knowledge, it is all there. Ancient Indians, the Kanadas, Rishi, Bhaskaracharya, Aryabhata, these people have done great science.
Absolutely.
For sure.
That is, even the duality, the dual nature of matter, that was also the photons, velocity of light, all of that has been described. How did they do all of this?
That's true.
So it is not that science originated there. Science originated here.
Absolutely.
And it traveled there, and then they destroyed it. And to say that, okay, we are the doers. And the classic example is Jagadish Chandra Bose. The Jagadish Chandra Bose was the one who did microwave transmission first. Okay, in Calcutta he demonstrated that. So, and then what they did? They knew it. They put it under the carpet. They gave that credit to Marconi. And they always wanted to suppress themselves, that they are superior. And Acharya Prafulla Chandra Ray, so he was the father of chemistry.
Right.
And he actually wrote a proposal during the British times to give them. And they just junked it. They said, okay, you cannot do it. No, he said, no, I will challenge you. So he was the one who actually synthesized mercurous nitrite, which nobody had been able to do before. He developed a method how to synthesize mercurous nitrite, supposed to be unstable, and he synthesized it.
I see.
And he started a company called Bengal Chemicals, where he actually used the Ayurvedic knowledge to synthesize Ayurvedic drug products, herbal products.
And all of this is documented.
All of this is documented. All of this is documented. But
That's
people
very
destroyed it. And unfortunately, they are all in Sanskrit language. And we lost the ability to read Sanskrit also.
That I think has been, and we're
That is a
going to
tragedy.
come back to that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And because of that, we lost. And then we actually still are under the colonial mindset that, okay, they are the ones who are actually doing it and we are simply following, which is absolutely wrong.
Which is completely wrong. I agree with that.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're the doers. I mean, we've always been. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I think so. I would love to know your thoughts about this. Our folk culture is something that has enabled us to, even today retain these knowledge and so on. Because, see, while growing up, no one handed me a Brahma Sutra or something, or some other text. You keep hearing these stories, and you know, and you imbibe them in a certain way.
Right.
And that's part of our culture, our folk culture, as they call it. And then these stories carry, and then, I mean, if someone's curious, you start exploring, and then you find out, the stuff that we're discussing. So you think our folk culture has
no, it will remain. It will remain. I tell you, so many small children ask me this question, that why should I do puja? Why should I chant mantras? Why do I do it every day? They keep asking. I ask them, why do you eat food every day? You eat food to nourish your body. And there is something else in your body. When you say my dress, What is that? When you say my dress, your dress is different from your body.
Okay.
So like that, when you say my body, what is that my?
I see.
My is your soul. So the soul and body are different. When you chant mantras, they actually provide food to the soul. When you eat food every day, you nourish your body. When you chant mantras, which actually have definite meanings, which is actually in praise of Paramatma who created this universe for you, you acknowledge that with gratitude. So these mantras actually are meant for that. So you have to express your gratitude to him because he has allowed you to live here, enjoy the life here, and do your karma and progress in a particular manner. And that is why this is, you have to thank him. And these mantras are just that. This puja is just that. Acknowledging the thing which he has created for you and is an expression of gratitude. So therefore, this is the way it has to go.
But
So our culture contains this. Yeah.
But don't you think that does not leave space for free will?
No. See, free will is there, okay, but there is no free will.
Obviously.
Will is there. Free will is not, because you have no control on your results. So if you say free will, I'm completely free, then I must be able to decide what I'm going to get. But does it ever happen?
Or decide as in life.
Yes.
Yeah,
Everything you think should happen. Then only it is free will. But you are not sure whether you are alive next moment.
Right.
You are not sure if you make a plan, you will achieve it or not, you don't know. You have a will. But that's not free will. Who decides that? That is the Paramatma who decides it. Everything, e yatha mam prapadyante tam tatheva mama vartmano vartante manushya partha sarvasha. So everything goes by my will. Aham sarvasya prabhava mattas sarvam pravartate. Aham sarvasya prabhava. Everything originates from me and everything proceeds from me. Sarvasya chaham mridasan nivishto mayi pratijna namapohananscha. So therefore, I am the doer. You are my instrument. You have to do. He said the same thing to Arjuna also. If you are the nimitta only. You are only my instrument. I have actually done all of that already before. These Kauravas, dharmis, who had to be destroyed, I have already killed them. You are only a nimitta now. So therefore, everything happens according to his will, and that is why there is no free will. There is a will. You can have certainly will. You can plan. You have a will. That is part of the property of the soul. So, but you don't have control on your result. Karmanne vadikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana ma karma phale heturbu mate sangostva karmani. Karmani eva adhikaraha. Matlab what? So this is, you have the authority to do karma.
Right.
Ma phaleshu kadachana. You don't have control on the result.
Outcome.
On the outcome, you don't have control. So that is why this Madhvacharya said, Nahang karta harikarta tatpuja karma chakilam tathapi matkrita puja tatprasadat nahi anyatha. I am not the doer, you are the doer. Whatever I do is from your blessings. So therefore, this is, when we keep that in mind, your philosophy of life will follow. You will be peaceful. You will not be disturbed. You will not be disturbed by things which are not happening according to your wish. Sukha dukhe samay kritva labha labha jaya jayo. Sukh or dukh, labh or alabh, jay or vijay, all of these have to go parallelly. These are all part of your life. You treat them similarly, then you will not be unhappy.
I see. So a couple of questions here. Let me start with the first one, which is, so you mentioned that there is this dualism that exists, which is you have to consider mind other than, body and soul separately and so on.
Yeah.
So is this dualism, again, this has been a topic of heavy debate over centuries. Is this also debated within the context of Vedas, or
no? It has been demonstrated. It is in the Vedas, yes,
Okay.
and it has been demonstrated by so many, Even today in modern science, I'm saying there is in Virginia there is actually a depository. 2,500 people have explained their previous janma episodes, that where they were born, how they died. And they actually took names of all of those people whom they were connected with, and these have been verified. 2,500 people have, this experiment have been done, modern science experiment. And in our history, of course, there are lots of things which are, lot of stories like that. Body and mind, soul are different. This is demonstrated by Shankaracharya explicitly.
I see.
I tell you the story.
Okay.
And you cannot say that it is all fiction. Shankaracharya actually, everybody respects him. Shankaracharya, once he was in a debate with Mandan Mishra. So when he lost the debate, he didn't lose the debate. Mandan Mishra lost the debate. His wife came up and said, "No, you have not won it until you defeat me." So she was the judge. So she told him, "You defeat me." So she said, "Okay, fine, I can debate with you." Then she said, ask questions about the Kama Shastra. Okay. Kama Shastra is all this with regard to the love and family and all of those things. No, but he had no experience on that. He took sannyas at the age of 8. He never had any family, never had any experience in Kama Shastra. Then she said, "No, but I am a sannyasi. How can I talk?" She said, "No, then you accept defeat." Then he said, "Okay, give me 1 month time." All right. She said, "Okay, 1 month time I will give you." Then he went. When he went, he actually saw, just at that time, a king had died out of snake bite. And he had died. Okay. And then Shankaracharya told his Shishyas, disciples, "I am going to enter his body, don't destroy my body."
Okay.
Okay. This is called Parakaya Pravesh. Parakaya Pravesh. Para means another, Kaya means Sharir, Pravesh means entry. This is actually described in Patanjali Sutras. This is described in Patanjali Sutras. So he said, "Don't destroy my body. I am going to go through my chakra." There are 7 chakras inside in the body. And this is the way to approach the samadhi and go out of that. So he said, "Okay, I am going to go out from there and enter into his body." He entered. And the king became alive. After that, and the queens were all very happy. "Oh, what a miracle, etc." So then he went and stayed with them, experienced the Kama Shastra. After 1 month exactly, he came back and re-entered his body. The king would die again.
And that
You
was
cannot
considered
rubbish it.
to be a demonstration.
Demonstration that the body and soul are different. Direct.
Right.
And I will tell you other stories. There are so many stories which people have not learned them or rubbished them. Madhvacharya, when he was only 5 years old, he was going to a Gurukul. And his teacher was teaching him so many things and he was not attentive at all. The teacher told him, "Why you are not attentive? I am teaching you so many things. You don't want to listen to anything. Why you are not attentive?" He said, "I know all of this already." He said, "How do you know?" "I learned it from the previous janmas." He said that. Okay, then he said, "Okay, I will test you." "Okay, fine, test me." So he's the Bhagavad Purans where there were 17 or 18, all various people had written bhashyas on all of those ones. And he said, "This particular one of this is the correct bhashya, Bhagavad Puran." He said, "How do you know?" "I know everything what is inside there." Then she said, "Okay, chant the mantras from the particular chapter."
Right.
So he just reeled it off.
I see.
He said, "I know everything. You are not teaching me anything new." And this has happened several times. This has happened with him. It has happened with Raghavendra Swami. So many people it has happened.
Right. The only, so again, this is great, and part of being, part of asking questions and being
Yes.
curious about this. What I think we're currently lacking is like a foolproof method of, so one would argue that, how do we prove this? Like you said, we have to understand and take inspiration from them.
Right.
So I'm
right.
again curious about what the study that you mentioned with 2,500 individuals claim that they've seen their past lives and so on.
Yeah.
So being physicist, I think this sort of has become inherent nature of that of mine, that there has to come a proof which is irrefutable and then reproducible and so on.
Yeah, these were actually verified by the people, by others. So when they say this particular name, this particular place, they went there, asked the questions whether this person died, and many of them have these marks of on their body as to how they were killed, what happened to them. These marks are there. This is called sanskar. See, the soul carries the sanskar from one janma to another janma. Like some people have the phobia, some people have fear of water, some people have fear of something. All of this comes from the previous sanskar.
I see.
So that has been demonstrated. So these people went and verified it. They This is the reason, if you Google it, you will see it. Google it, these examples of people narrating about the past janma, purva janma, today, even today. And various kinds of prodigies are there. How do the prodigies come about? You heard about various prodigies? Prodigies are, for example, in Harvard, there was a 7-year-old, he was a professor, who became professor. And in India, there is somebody called Ankit Shukla, who actually performed a surgery at the age of 7.
Oh, really? I did not know about that.
Yeah. At the age of 7, he performed a surgery. These are all available in the public domain. So, this knowledge comes from the previous janma. So, there is called sanskar. The sanskar drives the activities of the person in every janma. And that accumulates. What you do now actually accumulates, goes to the next one. So, it goes to the next one. So, that is how you progress. The soul progresses. When I said earlier, the mantras is actually food for the soul. And this food for the soul progresses from one janma to another janma until it reaches a state where it doesn't have to be born again. That is called as moksha.
Great. So I think it's a good time to maybe talk a little bit about and highlight the salient features of the 3 popular philosophies that you also mentioned in the book.
Okay.
Yeah, and what are the differences, and
Yeah. You see, the Advaita philosophy.
Right.
Advaita philosophy was propounded by Shankaracharya, and that he actually was, he came out to that after winning debates against Buddhas. And the Buddhists don't believe in the Vedas.
Okay.
And they don't believe in Paramatma. They don't believe in anything which is permanent, because everything is kshanik, I call it shunya. I call it shunyavada.
I see.
Everything is kshanik. Nothing is permanent. So therefore they don't believe in God, they don't believe in Vedas, Nityas, anything. And Shankaracharya defeated them.
Right.
Shankaracharya established the Vedic philosophy. Because Vedas are the ones which you have to accept, and without that you cannot have a proper darshana, you cannot have a proper philosophy. Dharma, adharma will not come as a result of that.
I see.
If you don't have those ones. And his philosophy was that Brahma Satyam Jagan Mithya Jivo Brahmaiva Naparaha. There is only one thing which is real. Everything else is an illusion. All this world what you are seeing is an illusion. There is only one thing which is real, that is Brahma. So, you are Brahma, I am Brahma, everybody is Brahma, but because of certain thing called as avidya, there is or ajna, you actually look different. So, therefore, in this world, we have this so-called Vyavaharika Satya. There are various differences which you are seeing is because of an illusion. It's an avidya. Once that avidya goes away, then you become that. You become that means you are that already. You are that already, but because of the avidya which has clouded you, see, you are looking different. So this is what. So he gave for this he gives the example of rope and the snake. So you go in a dark room where there is not enough light and there is a rope there, and the rope, and you think it is the snake. Okay, so this is an illusion. It is not a snake. There is no snake there. But when you put the lights on, you see that there is a rope. So therefore, in the same manner, because of the avidya, everything is, you look different.
I see.
So otherwise, it is only Brahman. And the Brahman also has no attributes. He is nirguna. This is nirguna Brahman. He has no attributes at all. And because of some kind of avidya which is comes on, they also define a saguna Brahma. Another Brahma comes, so that saguna Brahma actually manifests himself into various kinds of jivas, so-called jivas, our atmas, and the jagat itself. So everything is an illusory. It will vanish once you realize that, okay, that is, you are him. This is Advaita philosophy. And Ramanujacharya did not agree with this. Okay. He said, this Maya, etc., I don't agree. Everything is real. And he did not agree with the Nirguna Brahma, because Nirguna Brahma means you are downgrading him. How do you describe him? Right. If you say Nirguna, if you have no attributes, how do you describe him? You cannot even say Nirguna Brahma. What do you say? How do you say? So, therefore, it is not possible. That is not acceptable. And everything is real. Everything. However, what he said was, when you actually get the moksha, at that time you become one with Brahman. You become an avayava or the anga of Brahman. Jagat is real, soul is real, they are all different when you are here. But when you get the moksha, you become anga of avayava of Brahman. This is what Ramanujacharya said. That is the Vishishtadvaita. Okay? And Madhvacharya said, everything is real, everything is different. You can never become one with Brahma. You are always different. Even in moksha, you are still different. You are still different. You are completely under the supervision or the control of Brahman. Everything, whatever happiness, unhappiness, whatever you get, it's all under his control. In moksha, there is only happiness, but graded happiness. Because then he defined what is called as Taratamya. Taratamya is another important factor of Madhva philosophy. Taratamya means there is a hierarchy of souls, which we all see. Brahma is different, Vayu is different, Lakshmi is different, Garuda is different, Indra is different, Varuna is different. These are all at different levels of hierarchy. Their knowledge is, the abilities, intrinsic abilities, they are different. I did not make it, Brahma did not make it, they are all there like that only. And he does not change it, otherwise it is Vaishamya, it will come as Vaishamya, otherwise it will partiality. That says no, there is nothing, no partiality, they are all different and they have different abilities. And you can see this, these abilities can be seen. For example, Madhvacharya is considered to be the avatar of Vayu. Vayu. So Vayu, who is avatar of Vayu? Pavan. Pavanaputra Hanuman, Pavanaputra Bhimsen, Pavanaputra Madhvacharya. All of these are Vayu avatar. And he actually demonstrated this to one of his Trikrama Panditacharya who lost the debate with Madhvacharya. He showed him this visually, actually. He showed this to him during one of the puja times. And Trikrama Panditacharya actually looked inside, then he actually saw all the three worshipping at the same time. Hanuman was worshipping Ram, Bhimsen was worshipping Krishna, and Madhvacharya was worshipping Vedavyas. All the three. Everybody cannot see it. This has to come from the blessings of that individual. Madhvacharya himself arranged for this, for him to see it. So therefore, there is a hierarchy. This is Dvaita philosophy. And Madhvacharya also emphasized laid great emphasis on experiences. So nothing can go against experience. No logic or no this thing will go against your experience. Experience is ultimate. Therefore, it is also called as philosophy of realism. Right. Everything is real, your experiences are real, and when you interpret it correctly, experiences, you understand it correctly. Therefore, you introduce the concept of what is called as Sakshi. Sakshi is the one which actually grasps the truth. Until then, it is Manas. Manas actually sees something, it is confused. It doesn't know what is right, what is wrong. But Sakshi, after investigation, he accepts what is the truth. So therefore, Sakshi Pratyaksha is absolutely truth. And that is, otherwise the Pratyaksha is not, the Indriya Pratyaksha is not real. It may not, suppose your Indriya is not good, there is a dosha in it. When is there a dosha, it may not see it properly. You may not see vision, you may not be able to read properly or see things properly. But Sakshi Pratyaksha, it does after investigation, it confirms whether it is right or wrong. So therefore that rope and snake also, it is, Sakshi will not grasp it as the snake. Sakshi will grasp it as rope only because it believes after investigation.
Right, true. So that's the difference. That's the investigation
difference.
Is very important.
It is very important.
And focus on realism. Things
realism.
Like experiences are real.
Experiences are very important. Very important.
Right. And finally, the Dvaita.
That is the Dvaita.
Oh, I see. Okay.
That is Dvaita.
Right. I see.
Right. Now, something I found very interesting in the book is you talked about the science of self-help. And
science of?
Self-help.
Self-management.
Yeah, self-help and self-management.
Self-management.
Now, why I find that interesting is other philosophies like, the Japanese philosophy of Ikigai has always been marketed as self-help, but never, like Indian philosophies has never. Do you think that is a symptom of perhaps the colonial hangover?
It's quite possible. The self-management can be seen in Bhagavad Gita so clearly. It is described so clearly. He says you have to become Sthita Prajna. So you have to get over all these things like Kama, Krodha, Mada, Matsara, Moha, Lobha. You have to get rid of this. You should not have arrogance. You should not have jealousy. You should not have greed. You should not have attachment, too much attachment. Okay, the desires have to be limited. You should have desires to what you need. You don't have, the greedy is not acceptable. So, raga, dvesha, these things are the fundamental problems. And you have to win over them. So, the indriyas have to win over them. Raga, dvesha, vayukta estu, that's what he says, Krishna. So, you should get control over all of these ones.
Yeah,
That is also is called Ashtanga Yoga. Ashtanga Yoga is that. Ashtanga Yoga is also described in Bhagavad Gita.
Yeah, can you translate what are these things that you have to get over?
This is Kama, Krodha, Mada, Matsara, Moha, Lobha.
Right. And these are?
And these are, Kama is desire,
Right.
Krodha is anger,
Mm-hmm.
and Mada is arrogance, Matsara is jealousy,
Right.
Lobha is greed,
Right.
Moha is excessive attachment.
Right. Right.
Okay, and he says Krodha, how much damage it does, anger, how much damage it does to yourself. Says Krodhat bhavati sammoha, sammohat smriti vibrama, smriti bhramshat buddhinasha, buddhinashat pranashyati. Krodha does so much damage to you. Ultimately, it will destroy you.
Absolutely.
From Krodha you get Moha, from Moha you get loss of memory, from that you get intellect loss. Intellect loss means you
Gone.
destroy yourself.
Yes.
So therefore this is self-management.
Absolutely, yes.
And Sthita Prajna has to achieve all of these things.
Absolutely.
So this is described in this. If people have not read it, it is their problem.
Exactly.
It is actually all there in Bhagavad Gita.
So essentially, like all of these lessons that
Yes.
one should take,
Right.
we often see that, when these lessons are wrapped around something that comes out of a foreign land,
Yeah.
then people readily accept it, similar to yoga and meditation. So that's perhaps my question, that, when all of these things, like, they go abroad and then they come back, everyone is ready to grasp on it. But when it's actually coming out from their own land, they're not
This is the
utilizing
problem.
it well.
Yes, I agree. This is the problem of the colonial mindset.
Yes.
It has
that's
to do with the economy of your country.
true. Right. Right.
See, when you are economically strong, you are much more on a firmer footing. See, we had, because we lost in the economy, because of the various destruction, invasions and things like that.
Yeah.
So we also got all of these habits of corruption, this, etc. Actually came from there. Actually, British taught all of that thing. They actually
Yeah, no, absolutely.
gave all of those things to you. So with the result of all of that, you have lost confidence in yourself.
Yes.
But it has to come, which is connected with the economy.
Yeah.
The principles are this. I think slowly you have to recover from there and develop firm confidence. And with that, I think we should recover.
Definitely, as you said, the colonial invasion is all about, people talk about different types of warfare. This was psychological warfare.
Psychological warfare.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
just completely,
Yeah.
make sure that the entire civilization forgets about their culture, their past, their education system.
Yes.
And, just destroying pillars of society,
Absolutely.
education, faith and everything. If you
Yes.
destroy these pillars, then the society crumbles instantly.
Exactly.
And that's what
That
they
is
did.
what
Complete
they did.
psychological warfare.
You see, the Mughals looted our money or the temples and all of those things, but the British destroyed the mindset.
Yes. Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and they imposed the kind of a thing that, okay, now only we know what to do, science, and
Right.
you don't know anything. So that sort of a mindset, our people accepted it.
Yeah.
Because they became poor.
Yeah. Yeah, as they call it, they gave us the Gulam mindset.
Gulam minds.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
no, absolutely.
Yeah.
So again, both these dynasties have done immense destruction and invasions
Yeah.
in their
Yeah.
own right.
Right.
Right. Yeah, and both of them have resulted in this
Resulted in
situation
this,
where
yes.
we are now.
So it is important for us to recognize this factor and try and contribute to the development of the economy.
For sure.
And I think we can do it with this conscious feeling what we have and try to develop within the country. That's why you see Atmanirbhar Bharat, which is now the motto, which is
right,
there.
Yeah.
And with all of that, I think we will recover. We are slowly improving.
Yeah,
Our economy
definitely.
has now improved from 11th to it has come to the
Fifth
state,
now, and then
fifth state, and
going to
eventually
third.
goes
very
to the
soon.
third.
Yeah.
So when this happens, slowly our confidence will increase.
100%. Yeah.
See,
That's
I mean,
actually a nice thing
Yeah.
you said, that the stronger a nation is economically,
Yeah.
the stronger it also feels in other aspects.
right. That's
Absolutely,
right.
that makes
That's
a
right.
lot of sense. For sure.
But do you think this change from accepting our own culture and our own identity will take time?
it will take time. See, because they have destroyed us over 400 years.
Yes.
So I think it cannot come back just in a few years. And first of all, we have to overcome difficulties within the country itself. We have to create this mindset within the country.
Right.
That is, and it is intimately linked with political and various kinds of things.
Right.
Politics is also playing a role there.
For sure,
Absolutely, yes.
absolutely.
And that is, so it is a slow process, and but it will happen. It will happen. I think I'm very confident it will happen. Say, many of the people are feeling that way in the country. We are seeing that.
Yes.
So developments are happening.
Absolutely. Another, let's come back to this thing. Another thing that has a lot of misrepresentation and, already exists in disguise in many parts of the world.
Yeah.
Can you explain what Varnashram is? And
Okay.
what is the essence of Varnashram? Why is it good? Why is it misrepresented? And so on.
Okay. So Krishna Bhagavan says in Bhagavad Gita, Chatur Varnam Maya Srishtam Guna Karma Vibhagashaha. See, Varnas, there are four, this Brahmin, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, these four Varnas which are there. These are there as a result of the guna, attributes and the karma. These are not by birth. These are not by birth. This is according to the guna and the karma what you do. So Vedas actually say everybody is born as a Shudra.
Oh.
In a sense. Yeah.
Right.
So therefore you cannot say that this Varnashrama came from the Vedas. So it is, Krishna said, it is actually according to the gunas.
Right.
The what you perform, how you develop. So therefore, what is Shudra? Shudra has bhavana of seva. So the seva bhava, when he says Veda says everybody Shudra means the seva bhava should be there. No matter what you do, the seva bhava should be there. Service, the sense of service. So you at different levels you do different kinds of service. When you are a Brahmin, you actually learn, get knowledge and teach, and then that is a seva there. You teach to the people. That is your job. And when you are a Kshatriya, actually you have to protect your people. That is a seva. Okay. So therefore, but they have to learn different kinds of lessons for it. So their knowledge has to grow in that manner. So according to the guna of the individual, and Vaishyas are merchants, vyapars, business and all of those things. The different souls have different intrinsic abilities. Okay. So accordingly, they have to be given the lessons in that manner. Gurukuls were doing that.
I see.
This is called holistic education. The holistic education implied that you are giving the right kind of education to the right kind of people.
Right.
And they will progress in their life accordingly. And that is how the Varnashramas are there. It is misunderstood as saying, okay, this is jati and things like that.
Right.
And
then you're born and you're
born and create a havoc of that. But it is not so. It is not in that manner.
That's completely misrepresented.
Yes, misrepresented.
That's right. So, as you said, I think a sense of re-exploration is very crucial, and you have to understand this, gain back that confidence, and and so coming back to something that you kind of mentioned, and it goes in the field of etymology. You also started by describing the word science, its origins and so on. So I think something like that with Sanskrit is extremely important.
Very important.
Yeah, there should be interdisciplinary research institutes and people, experts both in science and this is a time for all these people to come together and once and for all nail it down that this is what it is, this is what things mean.
See, that is where I feel the education in Sanskrit becomes important.
Right. So my question was losing Sanskrit a major setback?
Big damage.
Major
setback. Big tragedy. Right. And we did not emphasize on Sanskrit. Sanskrit is such a rich language.
Yes.
Vedic language is Sanskrit language.
Yes.
Okay, and they are there forever. So if you did not understand Sanskrit, you lost faith in it and you don't know what is there in it. So you went by what others say.
Right.
So therefore, Sanskrit is a very important thing. Then one has to learn it from the school. Start from the school itself.
Yeah. So would you if we were to reintroduce it, you think?
I will definitely
introduce
that in the school. In fact, wherever I am there in many of the schools, I am actually in one of the advisory boards of the schools. In Delhi, the new school has started, Navratri. One of my PhD students actually started a school.
Okay. Oh, nice.
And she put me on the advisory board of that one. I said, okay, introduce Sanskrit. introduce Sanskrit in your school, introduce mathematics in your school. These two things are very important. You
Right.
need to have that.
Do you think also the reason that it has taken so many years to, finally come back to the concept of re-exploration is because most learned people have kept their distance from this subject, and people who have held it closely just follow it without understanding it?
This is very unfortunate. See, the learned people, how do you evaluate the learned people? See, it is not just the various kinds of degrees. Okay, how sincere you are with regard to what you learn. Okay, and that unfortunately has collapsed in for the greed, because of the greed. You want some honors, you want this, you want that.
Laurels, right?
Laurels.
Right.
Because of that, the basic principles have vanished. That's why I call this as forgotten wisdom. So this is forgotten wisdom, and the ethics have gone. And because of that, you go by the wind. So wherever you get better honors, you just follow them, regardless of whether it actually suits the principles or not. So when that happens, how do you change the society? So there has to be Chanakyas. You need to have Chanakyas. So who stuck to the principles, they never hesitated to tell what is wrong. But today we don't have people like that. Even the very learned people go by political advantage. So this is a tragedy.
Right.
So that's why recently actually the government of India did a very nice thing to abandon 300 awards. They cancelled.
Okay.
300 awards because they saw that these are all sort of misused.
Okay.
And various kinds of political things were happening, and favoritism and things like
Lobbying
that.
and
Lobbying. They cancelled it, all of that. And all of them had a lot of money in it. And they said, okay, nothing. So they've introduced new awards, but without money.
Okay.
Okay. So therefore, truly exceptional people only should get it, and it is a certificate which matters to them, not the money.
Right.
Absolutely. Yes.
Yeah.
The money should go into the research. and not
Go to the research.
Not
Yes.
the laurel.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So I think therefore these reforms are coming, reforms are happening. So politics is actually a roadblock. So I think one has to get over that, and
But it's part of the
people
society.
It's
so
part of the society. Many learned people have also become victims of that.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
So,
I agree with you.
so the idea is basically it doesn't matter what you're doing as long as you're doing it with integrity.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
No, completely. agree.
That's our norm.
Yes.
Yeah.
That is our dharma.
That
Yes,
is that
absolutely.
is Sanatana Dharma.
Sanatana dharma.
Right. So hypothetically, you mentioned that you've been serving on these advisory committees and so on. So hypothetically, if you were to, let's say, establish a modern day research institute
Or a gurukul.
or a gurukul, a modern gurukul, let's call it.
Yeah.
So how do you see introducing Sanskrit, mathematics, all the other sciences that we spoke about, and how do we backtrack it to the original wisdom, as we call it, hypothetically,
Yes. No, it is actually coming. There's a new education policy which has come.
Oh, okay.
New education, it's called NEP,
Okay.
which is there. This actually introduces these things.
Interesting.
The Gurukul type of thing is coming back.
I see.
Okay, but the logistics may be different.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
But that is all
modern adaptation.
Modern adaptation. That can be different. But that thing is coming back.
Mm-hmm.
The syllabi are being reworked out.
Definitely.
So wherever is possible, I'm actually also telling, okay, you should introduce these concepts. That is, this has to start from the school level itself. To start from the school level, introduce the concepts which remains firmly in your mind all through your life.
Yeah. Spark curiosity at a very young age, so that it grows. And
it grows, yes.
For sure.
And obviously, like you mentioned, I very much agree with that it has to start from schools.
Right.
And after independence, our schools were essentially following the British way of
Correct.
being.
Yeah.
And the British way of being was like, even they started it just to produce factory workers.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
the idea of asking questions were not very encouraged.
Yeah, that's right.
Neither there and not even when we adapted to that.
Yeah.
So I very much agree that this like the focus should be on asking questions, and it not should just be a dogmatic concept. It should be
coming from within.
Absolutely.
Sure.
Absolutely. It's very encouraged. That is part of our Sanatana Dharma.
Very curious,
Investigative,
curiosity driven.
investigative, exploratory, all of that is part of the Sanatana Dharma.
Yeah, again, promote asking questions, encourage
And in India has another diversity that you have so many languages.
that is a strength that no country
Yeah,
has.
exactly.
Yeah,
So we have to make use of that.
100%.
We have to make use of that and teach them. And the government of India is actually now encouraging that.
Yes.
You write books in different languages. They will support
100%.
you. It is,
Absolutely.
in fact, this book now is now getting translated into Kannada and Sanskrit.
Oh, wow.
Awesome.
Okay. Wow.
Awesome.
Wow.
So somebody in Dharwad is actually taken the initiative. There is a Sanskrit university, Central Sanskrit University. They are going to fund it
That's very nice.
to
I see.
convert it to the Sanskrit version and a Kannada version. And
I see.
a Hindi version also will come soon.
Mhm.
Oh, awesome.
That is.
Interesting. So, your book, the forward of the book has
Yeah.
been, again, this is very interesting because I noticed that it has been written by the Dalai Lama
Yeah.
and Professor Anand Ranganathan.
Yeah.
And I'm sure it was, a very conscious choice, I'm guessing, to
Yeah.
go with the theme of the book, have a spiritual leader and a scientist
That's
write it.
That's right.
So, you mind sharing us the story? Why did you choose these two individuals to...
Yeah, no, we actually considered different people.
Okay.
And we felt, okay, see, one thing is, the people who write should be the ones who are visible
Right.
to the community, and they immediately take their word, what they say. And we had the contact with Dalai Lama and Ananda Ranganathan. I also had contact with Chidambaram, R. Chidambaram, who was the advisor to the Prime Minister for several years. That is, we also had, unfortunately, he actually passed away recently.
Right.
That is, but he also had sort of given an indication that, okay, that could be done. And it was taking time for him, and towards the end he said, okay, I'm not finding enough time to do it. But health was not, so he recently passed away also.
I see.
So I think that was the main reason. So we should have somebody who is very mature, and of course you cannot doubt the maturity of Dalai Lama or Anand Ranganathan. So Anand Ranganathan you will see on various television
He's been
shows.
a news commentator, political commentator, I mean.
And he is very, very knowledgeable.
Definitely,
He's knowledgeable
yeah.
on various kinds of things.
Yes.
So,
I
and
agree.
he's a good friend of mine. He's a good friend of one of my students also, who
Oh,
lives
nice.
in Delhi.
I see.
Yeah.
I see.
So we approached him. They said, okay, yeah, we are very happy. And he actually also did a reel. Anand Ranganathan also did a reel on the book.
Oh, really?
Oh.
I for some reason I missed it, but
Yeah,
maybe
yeah,
definitely.
That's impressive. So before we move on to the tail end of the podcast, we talked about a lot of things from the book, but is there
Yeah.
something that we did not discuss and you would like to talk about it?
Actually, we touched upon briefly on this personalized Ayurveda. Ayurveda is something which must come back.
Interesting.
See, there is so much of knowledge in Ayurveda. We have not been exploring that.
Right.
See, allopathy has not been considering Ayurveda as an acceptable medical practice. That is, this partly because it has not systematically grown.
Right.
It is all the Vedyas are actually giving your medicines and things like that.
Yes.
But the proper systematic evaluations and all of that has not been done. And this needs to be done. But the
Right.
principles are all very valid. They are all very, very correct. Okay, and it says, Ayurveda says, okay, right at the time of conception, your body Prakriti is already determined. It talks in the language of Vata, Pitta, Kapha. These are the three entities which constitute your body. That is the Prakriti of the individual. And any imbalance in this actually results in a disease. And Ayurveda's principle is to deal at the immunity level. Deal with the whole body, not symptomatically. See, allopathy deals symptomatically. This goes at the fundamental immunity level. So immune system has to be properly dealt with, and that happens if there is an imbalance in the Vata, Pitta and Kapha. So, and this is diet based. So therefore it emphasizes a lot on the diet and the herbal medicines, because these are natural products.
Right.
Okay, there is nothing artificial created there. These are natural products, therefore they has to be emphasized, and taken with a systematic investigation, just as you say you are anti-inflammatory, okay, antibacterial, you should say anti-vata, anti-pitta, anti-kapha. You create medicines like that and evaluate them. Quantitatively evaluate it and prescribe how much has to be given for what conditions, situation. This thing has to be done.
Right.
So therefore, principles are all there, but nobody is able to read Sanskrit. Ayurveda is not being read,
Yes.
and it is not coming. Now the government of India has created a ministry called Ayush, Ayush Ministry, and in that one they say the Ayurveda or the herbal products are like green gold. Okay, now oil we call black gold. This is called green gold.
Green gold.
So there is so much richness in that. You have to explore that, and that's what it is doing. Ayush Ministry is meant for that, actually supporting quite a lot of this research.
No, that's definitely a great initiative. And as you mentioned, I think because of a lack of this systematic approach towards Ayurveda, let's say, there is a fundamental lack of trust. And that's why I think people don't, and that's why allopathy has been, not accepting it for some. Well, why are we seeking their acceptance in the first place? But
No, we don't have. But you have to develop yourself.
The systematic way of, if let's say, introduction of a drug and then clinical trials and so on. I think that's what
this has to be done. In fact, even after retired, I actually started an area of research called as herbalomics, and all of you know, like
herbalomics,
like your proteomics, genomics, and
herbalomics.
So I said, okay, I'm going to generate an area called herbalomics.
Let's westernize Ayurveda.
So herbal products, deal with them in the way how they interact with your proteome, how they interact with the genome, and develop systematically how the herbal products has to be quantitated, the results have to be quantitated, and then you demonstrate. That is the way you can bring it up. The research you can use the modern tools, all right. You can use the modern techniques, but your science has to go in this manner. With that, you can develop in a big way our own resource. And India is very rich in Ayurveda. With regard to herbal products, natural products, we are very rich.
Right.
Since others are not doing it yet, I said, okay, you should do it now. So if you don't do it now, the Chinese will do it and they will take over.
They will claim it.
Yeah.
As has happened many times with turmeric and so on.
Turmeric, that's right. That's right.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think it's a good time to move to the tail end of the podcast, and it is quite evident that your journey has been incredible as an individual, as a scientist, and followed by this spiritual phase of your life. And we on the Nomads podcast, we really love to highlight such stories. So would you mind taking us through this journey, at least some brief parts of this, brief highlights of these journeys that connects all these things, that you growing up and then becoming a scientist and then finally your interest in spirituality. How did that sort of come about?
See, these things have been with me right from the childhood.
Okay.
That is, when I was going to the school, that actually my grandfather used to teach us. He taught us Sanskrit, he taught us philosophy, and the basic elements of what are the deep-rooted things inside, epistemology, pramana paddhati, I mentioned, these are the rules of the game and how to study shastras. And on the other hand, of course, in the school we were studying the normal science which was being taught. So this was going parallelly in my mind all through.
Oh, nice.
All along it has been going. And the only thing was, you should do well in whatever you choose. Okay. Since professionally we are going in the field of science, okay, I should do well in my science. So, which is what I tried to do. So all along we tried to do. I finished school in Dharwad, and then I went to university, Karnataka University, for the BSc, and I also did reasonably well. I had a university rank, and I got a scholarship in during that. Of course, economy was actually one of those serious problems for us. So all along we have been surviving on the basis of scholarships. So because we had to excel.
Right.
So I had the scholarship, National Merit Scholarship, after the 10th standard. Then I went to university, I had the scholarship. When I went to IIT, I had the scholarship, I had the free ship. So I didn't have to pay fees. And only I had to pay for the hostel and things like that. And after the IIT, I went to TIFR for PhD. Again, we had scholarship. So self-sustaining. So, and then from TIFR, I stayed on. I went on to Zurich for 2 years for my postdoc.
At ETH?
ETH, yeah. And I worked with Richard Ernst and then Kurt Wittrich, both of whom won Nobel Prize later. That is, Richard Ernst won the Nobel Prize in 1991 and Kurt Wittrich won in 2002. So then I came back and established that research activity in TIFR.
I
So
see.
from ETH, the NMR spectroscopy, that is my specialization.
Yes.
NMR, I see.
NMR spectroscopy. I established that in TIFR to work on biological molecules. So I worked at the interface of chemistry and biology. My basic degree was in chemistry. So but I worked at the interface of chemistry and biology. So all these protein structures, determination and development of NMR methods for determining protein structures, that was the highlight. So even today those methods which I developed, people are seeking. 25 years later, 30 years later, they are still seeking. So now the National Magnetic Resonance Society has created a website putting in all the methods which are developed on the website. So everybody can take it and use it for themselves.
I see.
So some good accomplishments have been there, good research has been there. I have been satisfied with my research. I had very bright students, beautiful students, very hardworking, and performed and I never discouraged any one of them. Never discouraged. I never told them, "You are not doing well." I never said to them, "You are no good." I always had an attitude, a positive attitude. A negative attitude will destroy people.
100%.
And I always had a positive attitude. So sometimes the students came and said, "Sir, I'm not getting results. I think I'm not good for research. I'm quitting." I said, "No, nothing doing." That is, you are putting your effort, you are diligently working. The results are not in your control. Let us try and do something else. Let us try something which will provide you good results. And that did happen. All of these actually put confidence in them and they gave solace. So they became stress-free.
Right.
And even after this, there are so many students who actually have gone through kind of a cycle of stress. And the interaction with me, they have helped them. They said, "Okay, you do your work systematically, diligently, sincerely, you do your work. Results are not completely in your control. But you have to do your work properly. That is, do it. If something doesn't work, maybe something else will work. Maybe that is better. Maybe that will be better." So you take it up that way. And I'm very happy to say all my students have settled down very well in their career. Some of them have become professors in IITs and ICGEB and leaders in science. I'm very, very glad about it.
That's so
That's
nice.
amazing.
Well, I mean, being an advisor gives you this control over, and you can choose to make their lives or break their lives, and and that's why the attitude is extremely important when you guide. 100%.
So I keep on telling them, you must be positive in your attitude. If you throw a black ball to the wall, a black ball will come to you. If you throw a white ball will come to you. So always be positive and give blessings. So if you give blessings will come to you.
Brilliant.
So therefore, think positively. And you always learn from failures. There are things called realities of life. So what are the realities of life? Okay, success. What is success? Learn from failures.
Right.
What is virtue? Humility. Don't be arrogant. Never be arrogant.
Never.
So humility is the greatest virtue one can have.
And science, I think, is a subject that really teaches you humility.
Teaches that.
100%.
Yes.
That's like
Yes.
one of the most fundamental lessons that science teaches you is to be humble, no matter what the result is.
Absolutely.
You have to,
Absolutely.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
So you've been in the Indian academia for a very long time now. How do you think it has evolved over all these years?
Yeah, it has been developing. I must say that it has been developing, although a little slowly. That is, but the intellect of the Indian academia is not bad. It is the support system has not been enough as compared to the Western support system. That with the amount of money what you put in here and the infrastructure is not as much. It is basically because of the economy. So therefore we have to develop new concepts there, and this is what we try to do also. See, for example, NMR machine. NMR is an expensive machine. So one machine will cost you like few millions dollars, dollars, and here one laboratory will have half a dozen of them. But we cannot afford that. That sort of a thing we don't have. However, we have to reach out to all the researchers. So therefore I said, okay, we will establish a facility. We don't give the NMR machine to a particular individual. We create a facility, let it be shared. So I was the convener of the National Facility for High Field NMR at TIFR for 20 years.
Right.
So we acquired high field NMR machines, and I said, okay, this is going to be the national property. Everybody will use it.
Yes.
And we will not even charge them.
Mm-hmm.
If we have the money to pay, okay, we will charge. But if you don't have the money, we will not charge you. We can help you in your research, interpret the data, interpret the results, and we will not ask for authorship.
Right.
Okay? So therefore, is your research, this is the facility which you should use, and acknowledge it that, okay, this has been done at this place.
That I was
that's all
given
what
such
is
support.
required.
100%.
Yes.
No, that's great. That is
That is
absolutely amazing. So you mentioned funding being slightly less than what it is compared to this side of the world, the west side of the world. Are there policies in place now, and are things changing? And
It is changing. It is changing. It is increasing.
Okay.
It is increasing. The amount of funding is increasing. What is yet to happen is kind of the bureaucratic rules. This is something which still has to evolve, in the sense that, so you are given a grant, but the grant has to be released quickly. If you don't release quickly, then of course so much of paperwork has to be done. This actually becomes a problem.
Oh, like the administrative process has to be
hastened. Yeah,
Right.
it has to be hastened.
Right.
So and that realization has come. Actually, recently Niti Aayog has sent a circular to a kind of a questionnaire to the people. What all things we should do? They are asking questions. Okay, that is so. Therefore, the desire is there.
Right.
Desire is there, and they will try to implement. I think they will. It will come out.
No, this has been a common theme, and I've been in touch with a lot of people from the Indian science community and so on.
Yeah.
And I think this problem comes a lot that the administrative work is taking time.
It's taking time,
someone gets a grant, but gets the money from the grant, or like actual tangible things from the grant after maybe like 3 years or 2 years.
With delays. That delays.
There's many
actually,
delays.
That hurts. That hurts.
That really
So that is the thing which
troubles.
one has to get over. And the government is conscious about it. That people are pointing it out more and more.
Right.
That is, I hope it will get sorted out soon.
That's nice. One more thing before we close it out. I think this is sort of an attitude problem, but maybe you have some more things to say and enlighten us.
Yeah.
We see an attitude in this in the Indian community that it's better to publish in journals outside. No, because there's some sort of prestige attached to these other journals. So why has India not been able to come up with a journal which has good scientific review, respectable peer review and so on, and also carries that prestige? Why hasn't it happened yet?
I'll tell you. Okay, this very good question. This has to happen, and actually I will tell you. I was in one of the promotion committees in Nisar, Bhubaneswar.
Okay.
In that promotion committee, for associate professor to professor promotion in the chemistry department, they said you must have one paper in JAX. I said nothing doing. You read his science. You see what he has done, what the person has done. Don't go by the journal. Don't go by the journal. So if you simply go by that, then you are not doing your work properly.
Right.
You're not reading his science. You simply go by what the others say. Many of the papers from all these great journals have also been retracted.
Right.
And why do you have to go there? First, read the science, quality of science, have confidence in yourself.
Yes, exactly.
So they accepted that, and then they removed that criteria.
Okay.
Removed that criteria and said, okay, so I want to see what is the work of that person.
Yes.
Why is it important? What does it give it to the society? And how does it enhance the scientific literature?
Right.
Does it matter if this paper were not there?
Right.
Okay, so now you answer me this question. I don't care where it is published. And this problem actually also, not only Indian people, this has been faced by several others also. That is, even Richard Ernst faced this problem.
Oh, okay.
Yes, Richard Ernst is the person who invented Fourier transform NMR. And when he submitted this paper, it was rejected 3 times. 3 times is rejected. So, and same thing happened with Kurt Wittrich also. So his papers were also rejected because they were not going along with the wind. So I asked Rick once and Ernst also that day, what is this? Why is this happening like this? He said, don't worry about it. He said, don't care about it. You publish it in a place where people will read it. And ultimately, everybody will use it. And if you see, Richard Ernst never published anything in science or nature.
Oh, really?
Never published. All his papers are in chemical physics letters, Journal of Chemical Physics, standard journals, impact factors 2.2, 2.3, 3.3, like that. He didn't care. And this concept is now getting in India also.
Okay.
Indian Academy of Sciences, when it elects for fellows, fellowship of the academy, they are not saying how many papers, and they even say don't quote the impact factors of the journals.
That's a brilliant move. 100%.
This is happening.
This is happening.
That's great.
That's
Awesome.
really good to know.
Yeah.
Yeah, because as you mentioned, there's like a growing attitude of people, just
Need validation.
yes,
actually.
exactly, and they've stopped publishing in altogether because of this whole hassle and this.
And not only that, these are all open access and they charge a lot of money
Yes.
for this, and it is actually a drain.
It is a
Instead,
drain.
you use it for research.
For research, exactly.
So
exactly.
you publish in a paper with journal player, there is no such thing. And everybody will read it. After the science is good, everybody will read it.
Yeah.
So where did I publish? People are reading my paper 30 years afterwards and using it for their purpose. Where did I publish it? In standard journals. Standard specialized journals I published. And people are reading it.
Yeah.
So you don't have to worry about that.
100%. No, I really, yeah, exactly. You said the right things, and I really wish that there's an Indian journal that gets established, does not take a lot of money, and has people with conviction and integrity
this
reviewing
also
it.
is happening. Indian journals are also coming up.
Yeah.
They are also getting good papers.
100%.
And you see this, the great discoveries which were made in the NMR field by the Indian scientists like Suryan in the 1950s. I recently wrote an article, History of NMR in India, which I covered. It was published in Magnetic Resonance and Chemistry. And this, I quoted those people who did research in 1950s, the very pioneers. And where did they publish? They published in Proceedings of Indian Academy of Sciences.
Right. So there we go. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
And finally, what is one piece of advice for young researchers?
Concentrate on your work. Be positive in your attitude, sincere in your attitude, and results will come. And you must do excellent work. Don't be copy master. Okay.
Copy master.
So you have to be original in your idea.
Yes.
Creative ideas you have to come, and you can take help from the Vedas.
There we go. Exactly.
Brilliant. That's brilliant.
On that note, Professor Hosur, thank you very much for coming to the Nomads podcast. We had a great time. Hope you enjoyed it.
Thank you very much. I enjoyed it. It was a great discussion we had. And certainly I really appreciated your move to do this. And I wish you all the best in all your efforts. And God bless you.